Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Yannis Pappas Hour, where we cover yesterday's news today so you can have a brighter tomorrow. A lot is going on in the world. One of the most important things I want you to know right off the top is drowning in the United States is up. After decades of decline, there was actually a reporter on this beat who was assigned to this story. Somehow they calculated that drownings were up in the United States. I did my research and I found out what he did is he went to a bunch of black neighborhoods and he found out that black people were getting in the pool more. Hunter Biden's been found guilty of gun charges, but that is not good enough for Republicans who say it's a distraction from the weaponization of the justice system. We will get into it. Charlie Kirk weighs in through that big, massive pillow forehead he has. Is it true? Is it not? It just looks like someone stuck a party oxygen inflator. You know when you're inflating those balloons at a party? A helium took
tank.
One of those helium tanks and just put it in his mouth and started pumping. We will get into it. But hey, listen, the kid's got to make content. So of course it's not good enough. It's just a distraction from the weaponization of the justice system that has happened against Trump in New York City for his hush money payments. Wouldn't it be nice if you could pay a hush money payment to your wife? Just hire a lawyer and say, hey, from 4 to 7, zip it legally. A couple of people went to space on the Virgin, whatever, Branson, is that his name? Branson's companies is the second tourists to go to space on Virgin Galactic or whatever it's called, and they reported back that the world is indeed flat. It's not round. Mystery is solved. A lot's going on. 3 people were injured in a rodeo in Oregon, and everyone was rooting for the bull. Who doesn't root for the bull? What kind of psychopath roots for the people? I think that should be the new Robert Hare psychopath test, is force people to watch Running with the Bulls in Spain and rodeos in America. And if anyone who roots for the person to live, that's your psychopath, because all normal people are rooting for the people to become shish kebabs. So happily 3 people were injured as a bull jumped the fence and injured 3 people. Again, reporters are reporting that the bull jumped the fence and the bull was African American. That's how he was able to get over the fence. He jumped, or he was related to Matt McClung. The kid had hops. This bull had some hops. $63 million worth of coke. That is a lot of good coke. Has been seized in a port along the Florida coast in Florida. And the Miami Tribune reports that the economy of Miami has taken a $63 million hit. They are in recession, $63 million. And Joey Chestnut of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest fame has been banned. He's been banned for tweets about transgenders. No, that would be legitimate. That would be legitimate. He's been banned because he's being sponsored by a vegan Frank company. He's switched companies. He's switched to Lisa. He pulled a LeBron. He made an announcement. It was the big, what was that called again? LeBron, the decision. It was Joey Chestnut's decision, and he decided he was going with Impossible Franks, and he was leaving Nathan's. This hasn't happened since LeBron's the decision, and they banned him, which means Nathan Hot Dog, the Nathan Hot Dogs eating contest ratings will now be 0. Nobody's watching if there ain't no fucking Joey Chestnut. I'm not tuning in to watch some Jap fucking win again on American soil after what happened in World War II. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour. I got my Zin in. I'm coughing. And we're back, baby. Jesus fucking Christ.
Did you swallow your Zin?
Word to Joey Chestnut. Red, white, and blue.
Did you swallow it?
No, it's in my lip. But I got a little animated about the Japs.
Yannis, Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
That's a bleep, right?
No, leave it in. It's America. It's Pride Month. Leave it in. It's Pride Month. Leave it in. Okay? I don't know what kind of rights they have in Japan. I don't know what kind of rights they have in Syria and Gaza and Afghanistan. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it's Pride Month. There's 31 days to celebrate gays. If you do something gay during Pride Month, is it gay or is it just a celebration? If you do something gay during Pride Month, does it count or are you just supporting the gays? I'm asking for a friend. This is the month if you want to, if you have any, if you're bi-curious, if you're homo-curious, this is the month to really, you know, and also, you know, it's a great way to celebrate the Nathan's hot dog eating contest is to take a real one. So Joey Chestnut, I mean, this is big news. This is one of the greatest sports. God, I wish that they would just air this. They would just air this in Niger.
What?
In the country of Niger and other similar countries, Haiti, which is being run by gangs. It's much like Los Angeles. But a government has been instituted in Haiti. So that should solve it. I think Haiti will be ready for tourists in a couple weeks. Dude, how great would that be to have a game show where people try not to win because the prize is a free vacation to Haiti, so you bomb on purpose? Even Wyclef Jean can't fix that situation. So the Great American Holiday, it's a holiday, pretty much, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
It's on July 4th.
It's on July 4th. It's for America. It's a way we celebrate being absolute circle pigs, where people just where these athletes, they stuff hot dogs in their mouth, drench the buns in water, and stretch their stomachs to maximum capacity. And Joey Chestnut has become a star. I mean, it used to be Kobayashi, right? I'm sorry. Every Japanese guy's name's, was it Kobayashi?
Yep.
Was that his name?
Yep.
Or was that the Japanese guy from Revenge of the Nerds? Because I think he was also Kobayashi.
I think so too, yeah.
And I think he was also the fake lawyer in Usual Suspects,
That's
Kobayashi.
Him. That's him too.
I think every Japanese guy is secretly named Kobayashi. Also, if you didn't know, your little Yannis Pappas Hour fact of the day is that they sell dirty panties in vending machines in Japan, which...
Kobayashi's panties.
Do you know that they sell dirty panties
Yes.
in vending machines in Japan? Look, different cultures, the men in different cultures have different ways of blowing off steam. You have a long day of work. Some guys want a cigarette. Some guys want to go home and, tune up their wives a little bit. Some guys like to do a little CBD. Some guys like to take a little Clonny. Some guys like to do a little meditation and breathing. Japanese men like to just get a few strong whiffs off of a dirty pair of panties, and it just brings their blood pressure right back down. Long day at the Subaru factory. Long day at the Subaru factory. A couple of mistakes were made. A couple of guys walked out the fourth window because they made mistakes on the line. And you got to go and tell their families that they made mistakes and now daddy's dead. Because of honor, you're going to pass a vending machine, pick up a Snickers, and take a few sniffs. Different cultures have different ways of doing things. You know? That's a way to handle stress. I think in Afghanistan, and Taliban around Afghanistan, I think they go up and just tune. I think it's fucking jail rules on the tune-up that the missus gets. when there's a stressful day at the Taliban factories, I think it's just a free-for-all tune-up. I think Malahandi just gets a tune-up, dude. And then the guy goes and smokes a hookah and he feels better. It's a 2-course cool down. It's a tune-up and then a hookah pull. And they feel great. Different cultures unwind different ways. We unwind with a nice CBD, cigarette, maybe a cigar, maybe a joint. Taliban guys go home and they kill their wives. They just take her, just walk home. I had a tough day at work. Bang, 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 bang. And it's totally okay. But back to the original point. This is massive news. Okay, this is massive news. This is topping the headlines. This should be of primary concern to all Americans that Joey Chestnut has been banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest because he signed with Impossible Burgers, which are basically Franks.
Whoa.
Beep that. But they get it, right? Make sure you can see my mouth, but just take the noise out. Because that's a funny name for vegan Franks, isn't it? Franks. So he said he was doing it for Pride Month, which is what a lot of companies do. Is going vegan. He's going, it's a trans dog. It's a trans dog. It's a vegan dog that identifies as a hot dog. And who are you to judge Joey Chestnut, who was offered $1.2 million by who? He was paid $200,000 to appear in the Nathan's hot dog contest last year.
And then they offered him 1.2.
They offered him 1.2
for the next 4.
For the next 4.
So apparently the vegan dogs gave him a lot of money.
So Impossible Burgers, these queers from San Francisco,
yeah,
offered this American hero, basically our John Wayne. Okay, there he is holding up the belt. He's unchallenged, dude. He like laps other dudes. And it's crazy because he's a skinny mini, but he'll take out guys who are like 500 pounds.
those guys never win.
Yeah, which just lets you know it's like the jiu-jitsu rules, man. You could be a big bodybuilder, but if you come across a jiu-jitsu guy, he's going to take the bodybuilder out. Joey Chestnut is the jiu-jitsu guy of hot dog eating. You don't see it coming. You go to the buffet with him and you're going, this guy's doing 2-3 Franks tops, and then he downs 56, and you go, what the heck? What planet am I on? How much was he offered from the Impossible Burgers?
They're not saying here, but it's got to be a lot.
Here's the thing. The Impossible Burgers are bad for you as well. I mean, that meat is supposedly not good for you either.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. But that could be the meat industry.
Exactly.
That could be a couple of CEOs in cowboy boots down there doing back and forth between Argentina, Brazil, and Texas, where their multinational probably has headquarters. Down there, they're producing oil and they're producing beef. It's Republican cowboy boot territory. They're hunting caribou, you know. They're going to secret gay sex parties. That's what happens down there.
What?
Cowboy hats, sex parties. Yeah, that's how you got to balance yourself out. When you're that much man and you eat that much beef, you don't think the Liver King fucking takes it in the ass? You got another thing coming, dude. You don't think that story's coming? By the way, that guy's made he makes $1 million a month.
What?
Yeah.
Still?
We are the country of Burger King and Liver King. I mean, the Liver King, who's a known fraud, who pumps himself full of $10,000 a month worth of steroids to lie to you about how only living the 7 or 9 ancestral tenets of the ancestral lifestyle will get you looking like that, and has absolute fucking fatherless, finger-sniffing morons buying his liver supplements, is making still $1 million a month on videos where you just watch him eat exaggerated portions of food. That is his content. Millions of people tune in to see this fucknut fake consume like the most exaggerated size of lamb legs and tomahawk steaks that Liver King Chef Lionel makes for him. Liver King Chef Lionel is a fucking illegal Ecuadorian who fucking has no chef skills at all and who has, is the equivalent to having a medical degree in Mexico. He's not even a real chef. He didn't study in France. How hard is it to be a chef when all you got to do is slap down a tomahawk steak on a grill, one side, two side, and then hand it to some fucking juice head and have him eat it and go with his hands. And this is what people tune into. And people want to make fun of my podcast, which is obviously full of fun-loving entertainment that takes very long, about 15 minutes of preparation. And this guy's getting all my views. And he's a fraud. He's on steroids. He's also a squeak. He's very ceiling fandable. I think he's like 5'6". The guy gets millions of views. He makes $1 million a month. He owns all these supplement companies.
He's showing you the way.
Yeah, dude, there is absolutely no research that shows that any supplements work. None of them. None of them. If you're taking creatine, you're also this is the fucking for Pride Month. Just get beep heavy, baby. We're beep heavy today. Just eat your balanced meal. Okay? You get your protein, you get your carbohydrate, and you get your vegetable. And that's all you need. And then just go to the gym. Don't listen to the Liver King. Or continue to live. Here's the thing. The truth is, I cannot stop watching his videos, and I don't know why. That's how I know that his chef is Liver King Chef Lionel. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why I tune in to watch him just... His videos are just him taking a bite of meat. He just goes, this is damn good. And he goes, this is what the Liver King's having for dinner. Liver King out. It's about 30 seconds. He goes, we have some tomahawk steaks and some ball sauce. We got some fucking... and then he eats the lobster. Like, he'll go, is this edible? And then he eats the shell of the lobster, and then he chews it. But what people don't know is then they yell cut, and he spits out all the shells.
Of course.
It's all bullshit. I mean, this is the content.
What is that, a rack of ribs?
It's just a rack of ribs. He eats with his hands, and he just goes, that's good. He goes, damn, that's good. This is all his videos. I swear to God. I swear to God. This is what he does. Video after video after video. And then he goes, watch. He goes, this is what the Liver King's having for dinner. And then he goes like this, Liver King out. And that's it.
I guess he's saving money on writers.
Dude, yeah, no, he's got the same writers as Jimmy Fallon. One says, smash his egg on Don Draper's face. And the other one says, just stick this knife into the meat and say Liver King out. They're 30 seconds. He's juiced up. And I mean, he's got 2.5 million followers on Instagram, on TikTok. Who knows? 16 million followers. I did a little deep dive on him. He makes $1 million a month.
Jeez.
$1 million a month. That's probably a low ball. That's probably a low ball guesstimation. He's worth well over $100 million. And he just keeps raking them in, and people just keep watching. So you can't stop the liver. That's the Liver King. That's the Liver Queen. And those are the liver pups.
Oh, that's the wife and kids.
Yeah. And look, I can't stop watching. I don't know. I get it.
He's got you hooked.
Something about his shtick, he's got it down, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something primal about looking at the meat, because I think meat is delicious. And because now they look like really like very well prepared meals. They went for him like eating raw stuff until probably he had so many like deadly bacterias living in his body that he just now is cooking them, and he's like, let's just cook them and see if people still like it. And I think people are actually liking it more now. So he's probably going, wait, I just ate all that raw meat for no reason. And he mysteriously went from saying you should only eat raw stuff to now eating like all cooked stuff. Look, he eats the egg whole with the shell. Look at him. And he's able to suck it up until they yell cut.
He just spits it out. How convenient.
Yeah, he just swallows it.
Oh, yeah, look at all that cooked meat.
Yeah, he's cooked meat, and he just eats it.
Oh my God, what a world! Huh?
Look at that. Look at that. 584,000 likes to stare at your screen and watch this. There's going to be a book called The Liver King Effect, which is they're going to trace all the mental retardation that has occurred in this country. They're going to find out that these videos cause Down syndrome. Just like I believe you're born gay. Obviously, I think, you don't really choose unless you're in jail to bang dudes, unless they really look like girls. And then even still, you have to be convinced or really broke, or only have half the money for the prostitute. Just like I think you're born gay, but you can catch it from watching Magic Mike. I think you can catch it.
Yeah.
I think you're born with Down syndrome, but I also think you can catch it from subscribing to the Liver King channel. Yeah, I think so. He sells like powdered liver supplements.
Jesus.
So he's hawking supplements. Everyone's hawking supplements.
So he just ignored all the steroid talk.
It just went.
Just
he
petered out.
apologized for it,
Right.
and people didn't care. I mean, it's like very Hassan Minaj. Hassan Minaj focused on the girl, right? That girl story, and not the powder on the daughter. And it just it came and went. Steve Renazzisi, unfortunately, it didn't go so good. I was just on Legion of Skanks with Steve Renazzisi, great guy. And he pulls me aside and he goes, "Hey man, I'm a big fan. I just want you to know I'm a big fan. I love your stuff." And he goes, "Do you hate me?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Oh, you're obviously watching the pod."
Oh no.
He's obviously listening, which that's great. We need all the listeners we can get. But I was like, "No, I don't hate you at all. You didn't do anything to me. I'm highly entertained by what happened."
Oh no.
But listen, I want to give him some credit. I really do. First of all, he's a nice guy. Second of all, he owned it. He fucking, and that's what disgusts me is like these guys. I guess the Liver King kind of owned it. So this point doesn't make any. So I guess I respect the Liver King too. I would respect Hassan Minaj if he was like, "Look, dude, being the Gandhi of my people was selling fucking real well at the time, and I went with it. It was very on brand. It started out as a small fib, and it grew, and it is what it is. Don't you, just when, people just own it. It's great. But the thing I don't understand about Steve Renazzisi is, much like the Liver King, he fucking owned it. He fucking owns it. He says, "Yeah, I made it up. I don't know what I was thinking. It just kind of got out of hand." And but it's like, when is Steve Renazzisi getting back in Hollywood, man? I think officially Steve Renazzisi should be forgiven before Louis C.K.
Really?
Yeah. I'm putting him ahead of Louis C.K. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Louis C.K. is so funny. I don't care if he touched me, if he fucking groped me like Kevin Spacey. I don't care. I don't care. If Louis C.K. told me to come over his house and he chained me up to a Whiter Shades of Grail thing just so he could jerk off in front of me and my whole family, I'd say, "I'm still buying your next special because you're that funny." No, they should all be forgiven. He also owned it.
Right.
It's not crimes. Steve Renazzisi didn't commit a crime.
He just has to release a banger special. That's
Yeah,
all.
I mean, he just, made up a story that he escaped from the buildings of 9/11. Big deal. 9/11's over. It's yesterday's news. It's fucking done. Nobody was hurt. He didn't hurt anyone. He didn't fly the planes into the building. That was the Israeli government that did that. So fucking forgive Steve Renazzisi. He's a funny guy who fucking owned that shit. Talented guy. Now, that doesn't go to say that you can stop making jokes, but I think he's probably got a good, perspective on that as well. So it was good to hang out with him. I like him a lot. And I'm sure he's still got a really good career, but I mean, man, was he sizzling. I mean, he was fucking sizzling, dude. And I just, he tells it, we really pick and choose who we gonna we really pick and choose who gets away with stuff and who doesn't, I mean, Kevin Spacey's back out there and he murdered 2 witnesses.
What?
The two of the guys who accused him of groping him just died. I mean, If you woke up out of a coma, you would, and you heard the Boeing story, and then you heard this story, you'd be like, fucking Kevin Spacey knows the same guys that Boeing hires to kill whistleblowers. How many Boeing whistleblowers have been killed? Yeah, I mean, 2 guys who accused Kevin Spacey of stuff are dead. They were both young guys, and they just died. One died by suicide. He just all of a sudden got sad. And then the other one died some other way. And how many Boeing whistleblowers have mysteriously died? Have you been following that story?
That was a bad.
It's fucking amazing,
Yeah.
dude. You can't get away with this shit anymore. You can't just kill people with the internet. People know. Like you know how long Harvey Weinstein got away with shit? Do you know how long Epstein got away with stuff? Do you know how long people got away with stuff? You can't. 2 whistleblowers. Just dead, dude. Just dead.
There are at least 10 more whistleblowers that are determined to come forward.
There's 10 more that are fucking under armed guard. They are, I mean, these guys, they're holed up in embassies right now. I don't know. After the second whistleblower went down, I'd be like, you know what? This doesn't mean that much to me. I'm going to go work for American Airlines. I would just,
Yeah.
I'm going for Lockheed. I'm putting my resume in with Lockheed Martin. That's it. I'm out.
I might even change industries.
I might even just become a waiter because that's about to be a job, a coveted job. Because if Donald Trump wins the election, he has promised to forego taxes on tips. So apparently he's going after the waiter demographic. He really wants their vote. Can't you just say anything in a campaign? Can't you just say like, I'm gonna make podcasts uncensored, just go after the podcast vote? Can't you just do that? Can't you go for? Can't you just go? Can't you just promise and go? Hey, I'm gonna make the work week 2 days, and I'm gonna give everyone $4,000. Like, can't you just say anything? So this was at a Nevada rally, which, let's be honest, everyone in Nevada is either an illegal immigrant or working at like a Waffle House.
That's why he said it.
That's why he said it. Outside of Phoenix, outside of the Scottsdale elite, there's a lot of waiting jobs down there, and that he knows his demographic.
Also Vegas. You get
Vegas,
a lot of tips in Vegas.
A lot of tips in Vegas. So, do you think tips should be taxed? No, because it's a tip. First of all, are tips taxed? Is it? Nobody reports their
I guess
tip.
they are.
What kind of real goody gumshoes is going to report accurately what they were tipped? I mean, they're all criminals they're all tax evaders. There's nobody who's getting tipped. What prostitute who's getting an extra 20 is going to report that to Uncle Sam? What waiter who gets handed $100?
You know what it is? Most tips are now on credit cards, so you can't really hide it.
Yeah, so they really should. Yeah, nobody carries cash anymore. I think that's why homeless people are so violent, dude. It's putting like homeless people out of business.
Seriously.
If I was running for president, I would also say I'm going to take care of the homeless population by giving them all card readers, so they can just have that.
Yes.
That could be their only possession.
Good idea.
Dude, I would tap.
You would tap a homeless?
I would fucking tap. Would you tap a guy who's kind of? I'm fucking.
Nope.
I give him a tap.
I tell them I only have hundreds.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't ask you because they'd be like, "How's the struggle going?"
Yeah, I'm one of them.
And you'd be like, "I'm actually home now," and then they'd be angry and jealous.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, scooch over, man. Make room in that tent for me.
You wouldn't tap for a homeless guy?
It depends.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't like.
You
to
just
give
feel
other
better handing dirty cash?
Yeah. No,
You don't have to touch. With the cash, you may come in contact with the hand. With the tap, all you got to do is hover.
I never give people money.
Well, I don't live in an area where there are homeless people anymore, so it's not really a problem I got to deal with.
All I do is say, sorry, brother.
If I see someone walking on the side of the road, I call the FBI. I just call the FBI. If someone's walking anywhere in my neighborhood, I call the FBI.
I will
if I don't get the wave and I don't recognize the face, I call the FBI immediately. Yeah. If I see any type of foreign attire, I call the FBI. I see anyone wearing a beanie, a yami, a fucking stormtrooper outfit. I see any stormtroopers, I'm calling Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, out by you, there's only one outfit acceptable.
There's only one outfit, and it's usually personally
it's
curated by J. Crew.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a lot of moccasins, it's a lot of khakis, and a lot of colored belts. I've noticed that wasps really like a blue belt.
Really?
They're like a blue. They're like a real blue belt with like sailing boats on it, you know, and no socks. The more money you have, the less socks you own. I've noticed. Yeah, it's a real winterland where I live. It's snowing every day where I live. Forecast is snow.
Snows in July.
Snows in July. All the time does it snow out there. So I don't know. I guess that'll be good for waiters. It is Pride Month, 31 days of Pride. Do you think companies exploit Pride Month for financial gain? There's no way we're only 20 minutes into this.
No, we started at 10 minutes. We're at 31.
Oh, we're at 31 minutes.
Yeah, I started the clock 10 minutes slow.
Sorry, we have a timer going. So I know just, because sometimes I go long.
Yeah.
I'm a long-winded guy. I blow the light. It's my first special. Go watch it on YouTube. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour for our weekly bonus episodes. You don't want to miss those. I don't know. It's been a tough week for Caitlin Clark as well, because the famous WNBA player was left off the Olympic team. And man, is she just dominating the headlines. This girl's got to be exhausted from all the pressure that's being put on her. I mean, dude, race conversations, privilege conversations, it's just nonstop. You know, if I was her, I would take the 28 milli and just buy the WNBA and then just fire all the women. And this is what I would do. You know, all the players who usually go, all the male players who usually go to Europe and stuff, I just hire all them and just have another male professional league. And I guarantee you the numbers will do just as good as the WNBA player. I love watching the WNBA press conferences because I'm a fan. I'll just admit it. I like basketball, so I've been watching. And yeah, this rookie class got me excited. And Caitlin Clark got me excited just like she got everyone excited. Not because she's white, and not because she's that great, because she is good. I think there's better players, but it's because she shoots fucking deep bombs. There's no other player that pulls from the logo. And that's what it is. We already covered it. It's a simple answer. It's a simple answer that nobody, and I've watched them all because I got a lot of time on my hands. I've taken 2 months off from the road. I've watched them all, dude. Every conversation's about race, about the other women hating her, their money, all this stuff. It's just, but nobody, it's the simple answer. She shoots bombs. And like we answered it already. There's no dunks in women's basketball. So fucking dudes dig the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. Dudes dig the long ball. Everyone digs the fucking long. When you see a chick pull up from the fucking logo to break the all-time collegiate scoring record, you're like, I want to watch this chick. You know, she shoots from deep. It's not just she just shoots threes. You got a lot of girls who can shoot the three. She shoots from deep. She takes deep shots, and that's what's exciting. It's as simple as that. And she hits a lot of them. She scores a lot. You know, she's averaging she's like averaging 16, 17 points. She's on a shitty team, but you can obviously see she's going to be a star. She's going to be a good player. But I mean, the conversations that this is, dude, it's just everything is race. Everything is her race. Is it because she's white? Is it because she's white? You know, why weren't they interested? They weren't interested before because the other star players were black or they were lesbian, only because she's straight. She's got straight privilege. Here's the deal, okay? we're leaving this era is just, when I hear these, I'm going like, we're still here. Like, can't we just say a few simple things to just end the conversations quick? And that's why they don't let me on these shows, because I'll just say the few things quick. The few things are, how many lesbians are there in the world? How many lesbians, how marketable is two fucking dude chicks sitting in sweaters and baggy pants watching The Price is Right for 40 years in a relationship? How marketable is that? Is that more marketable than a chick fucking doing makeup videos? And why is it less marketable? Because what percentage of the population is lesbian? You know? Fake lesbians are great. Now, fake lesbians are great. You know what I mean by that, right? Watching a couple fake lesbos in porn is great. Nobody wants to watch, people don't even want to jerk. I don't even think lesbians watch real lesbian porn. They're miserable people. They're constantly ornery because they can't reach boxes. The dude one is always depressed because no matter what you do, the dude one still has a female biology, which means she's average height, 5'6", 5'7", with less dense bones. So she's still got to ask dudes to carry boxes. She's still got to call a dude over to lift a refrigerator. She's still got to put a dildo on to be the guy.
Whoa.
I'm just saying it comes with a little bitterness, you know? So you're not going to tune into two real lesbos with man gut, with dad bods. You know? If you're a dad bod lesbian, you're going to be watching fake lesbian porn, right? So you're not going to tune into real lesbian porn. So real lesbian lifestyles are just not marketable. I wish I was a gay guy because I could get away with this because they could just be sardonic. They're so mean to lesbians. You ever hear gay guys talk about lesbians? They're so mean to them. They call them no fun, and they make jokes about their frumpy clothes and their lack of style and how they don't have fun and they just sit around and they hibernate with each other and they're just in long-term relationships and they're just angry and bitter. And the reason, I told you the reason they're angry and bitter, because they're, you know, the top, you still got to get on a stool to get to the top shelf.
No one could open the pickle jar.
Who's going to open a jar? You need a machine. So, I mean, that's the reason. You know, it's just a population thing. I mean, the lesbians would be huge in lesbian communities. I bet you Stewie is huge amongst lesbians. But most of the population is straight. Most of the people who watch basketball are dudes. I don't even think Caitlin Clark's got more women interested. I think she's probably got more dudes interested. And dudes want to see, you know, they want to see outfits. They want to see, I do. I want to see Kelsey Plum walking in a provocative outfit. I want to see that stuff. I want to see sexiness. I just want to see sexy straight women. That's what it is. I also want to watch the basketball, and I can appreciate the lesbians for their game, but my interest in them drops after the game's over because I want to go watch Angel Reese walk in a mini skirt because that's what I'm attracted to. That's what God put in me, is wanting to see female athletes who are straight because they're hot. And so that's part of it. So they say she has pretty privilege. Look, she's a good looking girl, but let's be honest, she's not like, she's like basketball player hot, she's hotter than Rod Strickland, she's hotter than Jason Kidd. I mean, I want to see, what's her name? I always forget her name, the tall chick. She's like 6'7", by the way.
Cameron Brinks.
I want to see Cameron Brink walk in, looking like Jessica Rabbit. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a girl looking like a dude walking in with cornrows and Naughty by Nature jeans because they're back in style. I don't want to see that.
Those are back?
I'm having fun today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're back. I can't wait for the tight jeans to come back.
Yeah.
Because now it's like these 80s.
All the baggy shit's back?
Baggy shit's back. My Nike Air Force One joke went viral in the black community. They love it.
What was that?
Where I talk about how white girls' Air Force Ones look like they just escaped a serial killer in the woods.
That's good, yeah.
It was the black sneaker, and then white girls came along and colonized that sneaker. It's just, I mean, everyone's retweeted it. Who's the fastest man on the earth again?
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt retweeted it.
Really?
I mean, so many people. Fat Joe, like 3 players in the finals. Holiday retweeted it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's just basketball players. Questlove retweeted it.
Any white girls retweeted it?
No, it's gotten into the black algorithm,
community,
which is
yeah.
so funny.
Black Twitter is a whole
Here's
other
the
world.
thing, because it's got like thousands of comments. I think at the recording of this, it's like 1.2 million. I think I've gotten like 1,000 followers from it. Like, I think it's black people see the white dude saying it and they're like, yeah, I like the joke, but I'm not gonna follow this fucking
Right.
geeky kid with glasses. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the Air Force Ones on chicks. I want to see feet. I want to see sandals. I want to see pedicured toes. That's what straight guys want to see. Like, you know, what are we going to persecute straight people for being straight? Or we're not going to admit the reality that they're just, by the numbers, are an astronomically bigger amount of people? That just was the stupidest sentence. The amount of straight people is just a lot more. So they're going to be there's a lot of lesbians in the WNBA. They're never going to attract the male fans the way, you know, it's just what it is. Mateo Lane, you know, he's gotten very big. You know, I'm sure there's straight people at his show, but I'm sure there's a majority of them are gay.
Probably women, right?
And women.
Yeah, women love a gay dude.
And a lot of gays, a lot of women. It's what it is. Joe Rogan's crowd's not going to show up to a Mateo Lane concert. That's the great thing about the internet, is everyone finds the reflection of themselves. That's what's kind of become that's what's dumbed the culture down a little bit too, because there's just no crossover. Like, people just want to see the person that reflects them the most, and it's just gotten increasingly niche. So there, a lot of people, I think, who are great get overlooked because they don't reflect a large portion. It's become very advertising. The internet has ironically, because there's less marketing on the internet, but it's ironically followed the rules of advertising very well. You can just sort of see it. You know, it's like an Asian comedian, the crowd's going to be a lot of Asian. You see Indian comedian, you see a guy who fucking hunts deer, you're going to go, it's going to be a lot of guys in deer hats and Republicans. It's an accurate reflection, where it used to be like everyone went to see a fucking, you know, Chris Rock, or it's a lot of crossover, you know? There's a lot less of those big stars. That's fine too. I'm just saying I could see how the quality is not as extolled as much anymore, because people are looking for the reflections of themselves. Oh, this guy drinks a lot of Buds and Miller. He's from a place like I'm from. And there's just, people find the one that reflects them the most, which is what marketing is essentially, right? Mm-hmm. That's what marketing tries to do, is tap into demographics. So why would it be any different for the WNBA? Can we just leave Caitlin Clark alone? Dude, they're beating her up. Like, it's crazy. And they go, oh, all the rookies have it tough. There's no other rookies who are getting like cross-checked. And then when the ref called the foul, the one I saw last night, the girl was making fun of Caitlin Clark, going, like as if she was like flopping. And then you see the play on replay over and over again. I mean, she's just getting cross-checked. One play, she was away from the ball and some chick just came in and fucking this is why I just want you to know that women do have smaller cranial membranes. And it's not their fault. It's just they haven't had the chance to develop them like men, because they live in constant fear all the time. That's why my daughters are going to be taking jujitsu and all that shit. Because when you live in fear all the time and you're just living in your amygdala all the time, it's the way men used to live before we made an arrangement with domesticated wolves and they protected us from predators. We weren't able to have the time to just sit around and develop our prefrontal cortex because we were constantly under threat. Women live under threat. So until women start taking steroids and living the 9 ancestral tenets and can protect themselves, their brains will not increase. That's why women always choose the big douchebag who's muscular and stuff, because they want to feel safe. And I get it. They're under threat all the time because for whatever reason, they're just smaller. And guys are horrible. And guys do a lot of crime against women. So they haven't had the chance to develop their brains.
Oh boy.
I'm no scientist, but I mean, the evidence is in the WNBA. I mean, this is like, you talk all this feminist shit, right? Finally, everyone is watching the WNBA and interesting. And what are they doing? They're just beating up the star. It's got nothing to do with basketball. They're just jealous of her. They're bitter. They're going, where were all of these fans when we were playing? It's like, that's just how it goes. Okay? Big Daddy Kane feels the same way. That's the way the world was. You can't get angry at her for it. You're taking out your anger. First of all, none of you can shoot. Nobody was shooting that deep. Nobody was played that way, Nobody was playing like Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Steph Curry is probably the most marketable player who got non-fans engaged in basketball like since Michael Jordan because of the way he plays. It's just exciting, Basketball changed. It used to be a bruiser thing. A lot of those girls came up in a different era. Now people are shooting from the logo, and nobody does it better than her, and that's why people are interested. So it's like you talk all this feminist stuff. It's like Charlie Kirk. It's like you get what you want, and you're still not happy, right? So female sports are booming like they never have before. You can't deny it's because of one person. It is. It's because of Caitlin Clark. Basketball is booming. And you get what you want, and then you're even more bitter. Now that instead of just, what I would do, dude, is I would just compliment her and say, yeah, as a rookie, she's going to face some challenges, but she's great. Play hard against her. You can play physical or whatever. But just like, people like her, if you say nice things about her by proxy, they're going to like you. Simple as that. She was left off the Olympic team, and then they went and they found the Olympic coach's tweet, an old tweet, and the hashtag was, the W is more than one player. And you're going like, there you go. There you go. Why would you leave this girl off? They put on Diana Taurasi, okay, who's 41 years old. She's been to 4 Olympics, and she's on another Olympic team. First of all, it's stupid because ratings would be high for the Olympics, so just to watch her, so it was stupid. And, every girl's dream is to play in the Olympics, and they snubbed her. She deserved to be on that team. And there's all these excuses like, oh, it's a 3-year process. Dude, she's already averaging 16 points as a rookie on a garbage team while they're targeting her. Sometimes they pick her up full court, face to face. They need to hire like a Charles Oakley on that team to just like they need to match her with the bulliest they can find. Just a 6'3" bull who can't even shoot. I would just the team's horrible anyway. I would just go hire one of those like shot put girls, hire one of those girls and just put them on the Indiana Fever, and just she's there for clotheslines and picks. And just she doesn't even play. She just runs with, they're going to lose anyway. They suck. So she just runs with Caitlin Clark. You ever watch those blind races where the guy runs with the blind girl?
No.
So when the blind girls run in like the blind Olympics, some like collegiate male runner will run with the blind girl.
Where are you watching this?
Dude, I'm all over the internet.
You really are.
I'm all over. I have to be because it's where I mine for content.
Yeah.
So I got to have things to talk about. So yeah, that's what they do. So you just get a fucking massive bull to just hold Caitlin Clark's pocket and just run around with her so she can at least get open shots. I mean, they lose. You can't win that way. But, just to send a message, like that's our star. Wayne Gretzky, they attacked him. They're always going to attack. Jordan had Oakley.
Right, like a Rick Mahorn type.
You need a Rick Mahone you just need a bruiser on there. I mean, it's just problem solved. Okay? So I just solved all the problems. You want her to stop getting beaten up? Go just hire a non-basketball player, shot put female athlete, a weightlifter, and just throw her on the court to beat these other fucking bulls out. There's a lot of beeping you're going to have to do for Pride Month. The reason why she's so popular is because she shoots from the logo. Done deal. It has nothing to do with her being white. It has nothing to do with her being straight. Okay, but it does have a little bit to do with her being white and a little bit being straight because most of the population is white and straight. So enough. It's done. I settled it. I'm never talking about this bitch again. Unless something else comes up and I'm out of stuff. Anyway, I think I made a lot of good points. I really do think I make a lot of good points. But again, you get what you want, and they're complaining even more now. Now they're even complaining. All the players are complaining. No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not taking any Caitlin Clark questions. They're all complaining. Just like Hunter Biden found guilty of a illegal gun charge, and the right-wing pundits rushed right in as if they were all prepared. As if they're prepared. The show would maybe get a lot of views if I just faked it. If I just started faking a stutter.
Right.
Should I just fake a stutter?
That's right. The disabled podcast.
The people would tune in just to laugh at the fuck. Charlie Kirk, who I can't say it better than I did in the opening. I mean, it just looks like his face was just inflated. His head looks like a balloon a little bit, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like someone painted his face on a balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those games at a carnival with the water pistol and you aim it at the balloon.
It's exactly what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. And so he makes his living going around bullying like maniac college kids. He'll go there and be like, tell me, so what, let's talk about, it's like he'll pick the person with like the dirty Rastafarian purple hair.
Right.
And, it's like, of course you're going to win that argument by saying the simplest thing. Those people are maniacs. But there's a market for that. And then you cut it a certain way and you win, So he's one of those guys who's gotten big by saying reasonable stuff. And he's right wing. And I believe he's very Christian or whatever. But right away, he dismissed the Hunter Biden guilty verdicts. So would he have preferred it was innocent? So he's saying this is another Democratic plot.
He wins either way.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So if he's innocent, he's got content to go on. So he couldn't really just come and say good, right? Like good. He's basically saying the argument is that they did this, right, in order to distract from the fact that they're unfairly targeting Trump, which, taking my joke hat off for a second, I actually think the two cases in New York are. I will say that. Without my joke hat on, I will say I could make some jokes about it, but I mean, those two things are kind of kangaroo court ridiculous charges. I'll say that. I don't think the obstruction of justice with the classified documents is, and I don't think, just objectively, and I don't think the election interference in Georgia is. I just don't think that. Just not knowing too much about it, just saying the charges in and of themselves seem like, that's interesting. You don't want to go after a presidential candidate and former president for a hush money payment on a porn star for consensual sex. That's just crazy. That's just obviously going to make it look like a double standard. I mean, Jesus Christ. You're not going to go after fucking Colin Powell for lying about weapons of mass destruction, or George Bush about lying for weapons of mass destruction, or whatever else you can get these guys on. But you're going to go after a hush money payment for $250,000 for a consensual encounter with a porn star so she didn't tell her story. Do you know how many fucking payments probably go out all the time? And, it doesn't mean he's, doesn't soil his, some point people, in their eyes that makes them view him less. But a lot of people know. So whatever. So I don't disagree there. But where I just don't understand is like, so what did you want to happen? He got convicted, right? He had an illegal gun. It was a quick verdict. And he's guilty, right? Do you think it's suspicious that it was so quick?
Well, it was in Delaware, which is Biden's home state, which is kind of interesting. The trial took place in Delaware.
Well, but that's probably where the crime took place.
No, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably took place there.
But you would think that would be a Biden stronghold and the jury would be a little bit more pro-Biden.
Yeah, because I think mostly our justice system does work.
Right.
Mostly.
Well, a lot of times they were saying about the Trump trial was that it was in deep blue Manhattan where people hate Trump. So the jury.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just the stretching on the trying to stretch a misdemeanor into a felony because they're trying to tie election interference into it.
Right. But put it this way: if that Trump case took place in Texas,
yeah,
no jury's going to convict
no jury.
him. Yeah.
But I don't think they'd bring it in Texas. I don't think any state would bring it.
No,
you know, it's not a crime, right? So they're saying the falsifying documents in New York is a crime, which it is. But are you really falsifying documents when you label it as legal expenses? You know.
Well, then they called it election interference.
Yeah, and then so they were moving the goalposts on it, and then the things that they had to prove, the jurors, like I think the judge was like, if this, but this, if that. It was like so vague. Like I read up on it, and it just seems like the jurors really were probably like, well, according to what the judge says, guilty. 34 counts for a hush money payment. It just is stupid. The other one's even more ridiculous. And then that fucking chick in the
E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah, that E. Jean Carroll thing. The he said, she said, and then the award was what?
Like hundreds of millions
of dollars for
defamation of character.
For defamation of character. It wasn't even for the grope, whatever the purported grope was. It was just defamation of character because he called her a loony or something like that. And then you see the videos of her and you're like, she is a loony. Yeah. So it's actually like a accurate characterization. That just fucking feels like targeting. And it's just, just outside of that, it's just a stupid move. We've said it many times. It's just a stupid move by the Democrats. It's just so stupid. It's just a stupid thing that's going to give so much fodder for retribution from the other side. And it's not the moral high ground. It's just, you have the two cases that are legitimate. Why would you go with these other three garbage? It's just crazy.
$83 million.
$83 million she got for defamation of character. I mean, it's crazy. Are you going to do sue comics next for saying stuff? I mean, it's just, he said stuff about her. Whatever. She accused him of something and he called her a loon. She came into his life. He didn't say it out of nowhere.
She said he groped her in a Bergdorf Goodman's bathroom.
But I'm saying like he didn't out of the blue just target her and call her a loon. She accused him of something that he thought was loony and he called her a loon. How do you convict on that? On a he said, she said from how many years ago? 40, 30? Based on her looks, it was probably 40 years. See, now I can go to jail for that? Yep. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Those are ridiculous. So anyway, that aside, I think this is just an illegal gun charge. It went to trial. He got convicted. It's his, I just think it is what it is. He was convicted on all 4 felonies, right? 3 or 4. Three felonies he was convicted on, related to the purchase of a gun. I love the fact that he's buying a gun.
He lied on his background check.
The
question was, do you do drugs?
Do you do drugs? Did he lie?
He wrote no.
So, I mean, that's a crime. That's a crime. So, Charlie Kirk is just saying that this is just, they're doing this to show like, hey, we don't show favor, right? They're tying it to the Trump because it's already tied to that, right? Because it's the only thing they have on Biden, right, is his son for the most part, right? And the Burisma thing and 10% to the big guy. Is that the only thing? Like the big, is that the right way to use the words cause celeb? Is that?
I don't know.
Wish I could chat GBT it. Main cause, just in case that's the wrong word. That's the headline cause, right? Is the laptop and the Burisma and some shady dealings, perhaps.
You're talking about the Biden crime family?
The Biden crime family. But that's really what the gist of it, right?
Yeah, I guess. That there's been kickbacks all along.
Through Hunter Biden.
And also his brother. There was some $200,000 check that his brother gave him, like a loan that was never. There seems to be some shady business.
$200,000 from the brother. I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, he's been in politics since he was in his early 20s.
Yeah, that's all of them. I mean, how do they all get
That's
rich?
a long, long time.
Yeah, how do they all get
on
so
a government
rich?
salary.
Yeah, and they all get rich.
guy's a
It's not just him though; it's
No, I know,
everybody. Yeah.
That's why they keep the job.
Yeah, that's all of them. That's
why they
all of them,
stay.
Democrat and Republican.
Yeah.
That's all of them. So I mean, you can't draw party lines
Not at
on
all.
that issue.
Yeah.
That's all of them.
I just want to get in some of those insider trading tips.
That's it. That's what we really
want
want.
some stock tips.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just shows you that, it's not about the truth. It's about the interest of Charlie Kirk to be able to, and other Republicans to be able to keep this narrative going. Just like in the WNBA, it's not about like the truth that the girl shoots bombs and she's good. It's got to be because she's white or they just keep the bullshit going. It's a Liver King economy, baby. It's keep the bullshit going. It's just, there's no truer statement than, what is it? A lie travels like 15 times around the world while the truth is getting its pants on. It's just, that's what's going on here with his big head. I mean, it's a win-win, I guess. So what does he want? Did he not want the trial to happen? Did he not want him to get convicted? Also, does it really change anything in your life, Jerry? I mean, all these people that wanted a conviction or are going after, I mean, what changes in their life? Because none of this shit is really germane to your life and to real issues. Real issues are things, a lot of times that I got to give credit that Jon Stewart talks about, and he's often right. It's about like salaries and healthcare, and people get distracted by all this bullshit. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of people impassioned by this stuff who like don't have a clue, who just like, it's like, God, this stuff is like reality television. It's like Real Housewives. I mean, they watch it for the drama because the drama just sells so much better than let's talk about the nuts and bolts, inflation, gas prices, groceries, salaries, minimum wage, healthcare, retirement age, Social Security, a secure border, although that's a big issue. But most of the issues that really matter to ordinary Americans always kind of get drowned out by fucking Hunter Biden, and some check to his brother.
That's why they say vote local, vote often.
Yeah, because local means something,
That's the
right?
shit that really counts.
That's the stuff that, but it's the thing people know the least about.
The least.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
And people think the president has all this power. He really doesn't. I mean, you could deadlock a president with an opposing party legislature,
Yeah, if you go into the election booth and you look at your city council, you don't know anyone.
You don't know
on
any of
that
them,
list.
but that's really what affects your life the most in your community.
That's your neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, so get educated on that. The rest of this shit is just is RuPaul's Drag Race. It's really just gossip TV is what it is. I want to know what's going on with the deep state, the unelected officials. What are they doing? And I'm only half joking because those guys what are they doing at the Pentagon? What are they doing? I want to talk about that guy. All right? Hunter Biden, the president's crackhead son, is to be celebrated.
I mean, that's fun.
That's fun, dude. It's fun news. He's got a crackhead son. That is fun. Donald Trump paying off Stormy Daniels is fun. That's not an issue that should sway anyone. It's fun. It was a consensual encounter. We cheated on his wife too, right? With her, right? Yeah. I mean, is anyone
His
shocked?
fourth wife?
Yeah. Is anyone like, I mean, his wife, I've seen her tits. It's Donald Trump. I love the people like in the heartland too who like don't know that, like don't accept this. I mean, he was a Democrat up until like 10 years ago. It's Donald Trump. He's a star. He's a celebrity. He's a quite a good businessman on one hand, but he had a really big head start, from his dad. He failed a lot. He's a weird looking guy with crazy hair who says very funny stuff. You see what he was saying about Adam Schiff?
Oh, hilarious.
He was talking about his skinny neck and his head, much like what I was saying about Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's hilarious stuff. He's a roast president. So people love him. But let's not get it twisted. Like, you know, all these Christians, don't get it twisted. He's not your moral leader, you know? He's not your paragon of morality. He's on his fourth wife. He's fucked porn stars. I mean, you know, he's paid for probably a hefty amount of abortions. Wait till they look into those hush money payments. You don't think Donald Trump one time knocked up someone by accident and paid for an abortion? You got another thing coming. But it is Pride Month, so we shouldn't be talking bad about any gays. But they did go to space. Would you go to space?
I'd go to space before I'd go visit the Titanic.
Yeah, I don't know who wants to see the Titanic. Well, like, you know, I root for the thing to explode, just like I root for the Bulls. I root for the Bulls. I root for the thing to explode. If you go look at the Titanic, I mean, who the hell wants to go that deep under this to look at a shipwreck? I would go to space after, like, with eye surgery. Like, I'll wait.
What do you mean with eye surgery?
Like, you know how you want to wait till they get really good at it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be the third.
Right.
This is now the second one that Virgin Galactic has done. I want to go on, like, first of all, for the price drop. You know, it's like
right.
It's like the new iPhone right now. You want to wait. But I would definitely go. Look at how much fun these people are having in the capsule.
Now, how long does it last?
Dude, I don't know. But it is strictly for rich people right now because that can't be cheap.
Oh, it's only an hour.
It's an hour in space.
55 miles.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah,
That's all you need. You don't want to hang out there. You're like, all right, I got it. Get me back to the breathable air. I got it. You just want to go up there long enough to be like, oh, it is round. I just want to see the curvature.
Do they serve refreshments?
Yeah, I wonder. Is a little space ice cream?
Yeah, like a tomato juice.
Yeah, is there a 3 trillion mile club? Is anyone getting banged in the bathroom there?
Banging in space.
Yeah. I would do that. I would do that if I knew it was like the safest for an hour. I would zoom out and zoom in. Dude, this is going to become so regular. It's going to become so accessible one day. When my kids grow up, this will be like, they could do it.
Just shoot up to space.
Yeah, there'll be like a Disney World Spaceland where you can go and just shoot up. You know?
Be like going to the Grand Canyon.
Great place to kill a person because in whose jurisdiction are you in?
That's right. Just throw them out into space.
Yeah.
Open up the hatch.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
If you're a teacher and you want to kill your husband, this is the perfect place to do it. If you're a 22-year-old teacher in the 1990s and you're banging out your 15-year-old student and you want to kill your husband, you do it in a space capsule because there's no jurisdiction. This is a fun story that we'll end on. Pamela Smart was a big deal in the 90s. This is before the internet where we could really find out how much this happens. We did a whole Patreon episode on this, patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. It's a topic dear to my heart because it happens so much. We did a deep dive into how much this happens. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. And we found out, when you go to patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour, you will find out that they are all hot. And Pamela Smart it fills the prototype. Look at her. Even now she's hot and she's in prison and she's old. She's still a MILF, a GILF. I mean, she's a pretty woman. And when she's younger, she was gorgeous. And she was 22. She worked at the school. She banged out this 15-year-old. And then she had this 15-year-old and his friends kill her husband because there's no other solution. Sometimes like humanity it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, why is that the solution?
Some people are scared of confrontation.
This is really the most non-confrontational way to deal with a confrontation is by just killing someone so you don't got to have a confrontation. Right. So she convinced this 15-year-old. Now, look, the 15-year-old served like 25 years, right? This kid. God, imagine being the parents and getting this news that your kid's going to prison because it's some 22-year-old vixen who must have had really, really a good slice. Must have been a good slice to be able to. I don't think the 15-year-old should have done any time, even though he pulled the trigger.
Really?
I just don't. You got to understand it from a male's perspective, okay? You're 15 years old. I mean, the wind blows the wrong way. You're ready to go. Do you remember what it was like to be 15?
Yeah.
All you focus on is girls, girls, girls. It doesn't really change that much as you get older. It's just your ability changes. You go girls, girls, girls. Oh, but also I got to say something. When you're 15, you got the energy to say something. When you get older, you go girls, girls, girls. But I'd have to talk, and I may fall asleep. I may fall asleep talking to her. So it's a dream for a guy who's 15 to bang out his 22-year-old hot teacher or school employee. And then the skills that 22-year-old must have, it's just something he hasn't seen before.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a big
it's just-
difference. 15 to 22.
It's like when the league got integrated in basketball. You're just going, I haven't seen anything like this before. It's like when LeBron James was in high school. You just go, haven't seen anything like this before. So when she was blowing this 15-year-old kid, he's just going like, the chemicals that were released did just take over the brain. So his brain is just in a poos cloud. So he's under her spell completely. You can't blame this kid. It's beyond pussy whipped. It's pussy controlled. And that's why she leaned on him to do it, because she knew I got this kid. I mean, she was probably doing stuff that they couldn't put in the transcripts of the trial. She probably did a little cleaning of the back door. The kid didn't know what hit him. Imagine 15 years old, right? And she goes for the cone behind the ice cream. She's licking the ice cream. You know when you go for the cone? And you go for the cone? Has anyone ever called it that? Or am I just a genius? She went for the cone, Dad.
You went the back of the cone.
She went for the back of the cone, bottom of the, and a little bit drips down. And
right. You go the reverse.
all of a sudden she's at the ice cream parlor. Next thing you know, she takes his leg, flips him back, and she's at the back of the cone, dude. I mean, she could tell him to do anything at that point. Yeah. I mean, you're in Manchurian Candidate mind control at that point. You're in total CIA Manchurian level type of mind control at that point. And this kid pulled the trigger in the 90s. And then in the 90s, people couldn't think straight. They weren't advanced. They couldn't Google shit. They couldn't Google, is it wrong to kill a teacher's husband? When the poos is this good and you're in love with this, is it wrong? Does God think it's wrong? You could Google that now. You can Google, does God think it's wrong to murder the greatest thing that ever happens to me's husband? You can Google it. And Google will tell you that's a crime, don't do it. Also, you don't get into heaven. But in the 90s, there was no way to know because what he was experiencing was heaven. So he thought he was in heaven. He might have got his hands on the Old Testament. Maybe he got his hands on the Quran. He opened one page. There's murder all over there. There's murder all over the Old Testament and in the Quran. So maybe he's like, this is fine. This woman has gotten me closer to heaven than anything will ever get me closer to heaven. And this is all I know because I can't Google it. It's not his fault. It was his chick's fault. She's in prison for life without parole. She's tried everything to get out. I love how evil these chicks are. First of all, it's good to know, but just, when you marry a chick, how did the husband not see this? I'm not trying to victim blame here. Okay? I'm not trying to victim blame here, but he's a grown adult. I guess he was in his 20s probably, right? So you're a grown adult. Your brain's not fully formed till you're 25. So technically nobody here was a full brain developed adult, but you're kind of an adult, especially in the 90s. I think your brain developed quicker, because of Atari or whatever. So the husband, Gregory Smart, is there any signs? Like, did she come home? Like, is she teaching too much after school? Is there any signs? Did she come home and forget a juice box in her bag? And he said, what's this juice box? And she went, it's my friend's. And what do you mean, friend? Why you got kids' juice boxes? Did this kid leave a lunch box in her car by accident? Was there a trapper keeper under the seat? Were there signs? You know? Was she having a lot of diarrhea because she was eating at a lot of like corn dog kid food?
A lot of tater tots.
There's a lot of tater tots. Was she having a lot of tater tot shits? Nothing made him know that this is the type of chick she had. First of all, yeah, I mean, I guess it's everyone's dream to have their wife be like a teacher. You know, but you know, you got to be. Some of those kids are fly, dude. Some of those kids, you got to go check out the competition. They don't, you know, they got those kid abs.
Right.
And just the sexual drive. I think that's why this happens so much. Here I am nailing it again, is because these kids got kid abs. They got those kid abs, so they can't put on fat yet. And they got that drive. And these women are with these duds, and they're not having sex, and they're just attracted to that drive. They want to feel like, I want to do it again. Remember when you were that age, you were like, again. Well, at that age, I felt like when me and my wife do this with my daughter, we swing her up, and she goes, again that. And then sometimes she'll go, again. So that's the again stage where you're done and you go, again. You get blown and you're like, again. So be careful who you marry, because your wife may end up banging one of the teachers. I say they let her out. Let her out. She wants to get out, let her out. That's what she's tried everything up to the Supreme Court. Now she's finally admitted her role, because she denied it up until now. She tried to pin it on the kid, and it didn't work. And now she's saying, you know what? He didn't just randomly randomly kill my husband. It wasn't just random. He was supervised by an adult. Guys, make sure to see me in August. I will be in Syracuse, New York, August 2nd, and Albany, August 3rd. Get your tickets at YannisPappasComedy.com. And don't forget our bonus episodes, patreon.com/YannisPappasHour. Want to give a shout out, of course, to ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. If you're moving your car out of state or you bought your car out of state, go to ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. Our boy Jared will take care of you. He'll give you a free quote. Okay, if you bought your car and you need to move it, that's what you do. Also, I want to give a shout out to forthefree.art for having a credit card that works. Music in Hawaii. Check them out. Nate Linder, who we're going to work with. He's going to do,
Really?
we're going to see how it works. He's going to do some stuff for us and see how it goes.
There's been conversations
There's
had.
been conversation happening behind the scenes with me and
Really?
Nate Linder. You think marketing, you think Nate Linder. He helps businesses across the world create high-performing websites, rank #1 on Google, and profit from digital advertising, Jesse's Couture. Nate is focused on real business results like revenue and new customer acquisition, not just clicks. Nate has been crushing it with B2B companies and construction companies across the globe. So go to natelinder.com right now. DisplayPros.net. I love these guys. They're the real deal when it comes to custom trade, booth, retail fixtures, and promotional items. These guys will build you a booth. Their customer service is unbeatable. I called just to yell at them, and they took it. They took it well. I yelled at them for no reason. I just wanted to see if they were telling the truth about the customer service, and they were. They'll work with you to make sure you're completely satisfied with your purchase. So if you're getting ready for a trade show, setting up a retail space, or just need some killer promotional items, check out DisplayPros.net. Tell them I sent you. You'll get 10% off your first purchase. Of course, our boy, Matthew Albani, doing big things in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's an insurance company, guys. You need insurance. Might as well go with MA Insurance Services. Their reviews are through the roof. These guys are coming for the big boys. They really are. He's got a new assistant, which is great news. Hopefully she's hot. Call up. See if her voice is hot. Ask about some of the coverage they have. You can call them up at 727-475-1650, or you can go to mainsuranceservices.com. They do commercial and personal, right? So it doesn't matter. Any type of insurance, umbrella programs, workers' comp, commercial property, auto, professional liability, general liability, umbrellas, and personal stuff, right? House, all that stuff. He's got everything. So check him out. Rebels-Raiders.com. Rebels-Raiders.com. I always look forward to see if this guy's got new copy. Does he?
Not yet.
Same old. Okay.
Backpacks on the way.
Backpacks are on the way as usual. There's a YouTube link. You can go take a peek for the plate care.
Right. That's when he explained to us what the plate carrier was.
Oh, the plate carrier. Right. So he's arming you up for a shooting. The kid's got military surplus. Did he just wheel us in with the backpacks?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if you're planning the next great mass murder in America, you want to go to rebels-raiders.com. I know that's not the best copy, but it's the most accurate. No, if you're an aficionado, if you're in a paramilitary group, which is a large portion of my fan base, you want to check out rebels-raiders.com. He's got great stuff. Backpacks are coming.
He's got shirts.
He's got shirts. Send us one. I'm going to put it in the message right now, the address. I want a shirt. I'll wear it. So go check out. They got magazine holsters, military packs, military surplus, load-bearing equipment, magazine holsters, everything you need for peace. Go to rebels-raiders.com. Suds Auto Spa, my boy Yanni Pappas, John Pappas out there in Bridgeville, which is outside south of Pittsburgh. If you're a real clean, if you're Italian, and you like to keep your car sparkling, well, Suds Auto Spa specializes in automotive longevity services, ceramic coatings, paint protection film. I need a little tune-up. They also offer storage solutions featuring car capsule units. Not tune-up. I got a little paint chip. These storage assets are designed to keep your car dust-free and safe from impacts, mildew, even rodents. I mean, your car will become bulletproof. He'll make your car bulletproof. He will travel for big jobs, too. So you can call him at 412-564-5033. You can email them at info@sudsautospa.com. Check them out on the gram, suds_auto_spa. PCB Tech Art. They're sending us prototypes. Ooh. I gave them the address. I should check to see if it's here. So if you're looking for business marketing swag in the form of keychains, ball markers, or bag tags, check out PCB Design Consultations, prototyping, 3D printing. They do it all. PCBTechArt.com. Visit their online store. They sell on Amazon. Don't forget the code Yannis10 for 10% off your order.